Hi everyone, this is Karma Lichty with Onward Studios. In this video we're going to look at making selections. The selection tools in the toolbar are towards the top of the toolbar. We have the Marquee tool, which is just a regular shape tool. So if I want to pull out a rectangle or an ellipse or a circle, etc., I can use that tool, and that's pretty much self-explanatory. In this video I want to focus more on a variation of the Lasso tool and then look at the Quick Selection tool and the Magic Wand tool. The Lasso tool itself is a free form, so I seldom use that because I'm not that good with a mouse and making selections. But I will use a variation of the Lasso tool called the Magnetic Lasso tool. The Magnetic Lasso tool kind of guesses what you want to select. Now, it's not always perfect, but I'm going to try it on this image here. I'm going to pull out just the land and this lighthouse from this image. And I'm going to use the Magnetic Lasso tool to do that first. How the Magnetic Lasso tool works is I'm just going to simply click and drag along the edge of the land. Now, I don't have the mouse pressed. If I do click on the mouse, it puts a point right there. So if I want to be very helpful and help Photoshop find the edge, I can click on. Otherwise, it's going to add random points throughout here. What it's doing is it's guessing between the variation of colors that it means that I mean to select this lighthouse from the rest of the image as well as the land below it. So I'm just kind of going along the edges very carefully. I don't have it pressed, but not precise. I'm going to go out here. I'm actually not going to click out here to create a point. Go down here and create a point by clicking. Go all the way across. And then double click towards the end here so it closes that. Now it wasn't perfect down here, so I'm going to go to my Rectangle Marquee tool. Now if I was to click and drag here, it would get rid of the selection I just made. I just want to fine tune the selection, so I'm going to hold down Shift to add to this selection. When I hold down Shift, it also adds a plus next to my little icon there. You can see the little plus sign show up when I press Shift. I'm just going to click and drag to grab all that bottom there to add to my selection. I'm going to do the same thing with this edge here. Hold down Shift, click and drag. It's going to add that area to my selection. Now I did pretty good. It missed the top of the lighthouse, so I'm going to go back to my Magnetic Lasso tool and hold down Shift to add to the selection so it doesn't start over, and then drag along the edge of this lighthouse a little bit, put a point there, and then double click over there. Now it did a little bit better. It missed the very top there, but we're going to go with that for now. If I wanted to finesse that, I could zoom in and do that, but we're not going to spend the time to do that. I also want to get rid of this water right here, so I'm going to grab my Marquee tool. This time I want to remove part of the selection, so I'm going to hold down the Alt key. Notice the little minus sign next to my icon, and then click and drag to make that selection to remove that. Then I want to add this lighthouse right here, so I'm going to go back to my Magnetic Lasso tool, hold down Shift, and carefully kind of go along the edge here, see if it will draw that out. It didn't, whoops, I just lost my selection. I'm going to Control Z that back. It didn't do real well there, so I'm going to go to another selection tool. I'm just going to the Lasso tool. So I have to be a little more careful as I drag this because it's going to take exactly what I drag. And I held down Shift to add to my selection. I'm going down just the edge of there and then just draw a circle. And not bad. I'm going to delete the rest of, actually I want to keep the lighthouse in the land, which is my selection. So I'm going to inverse this selection by doing a Control Shift I, or from the menu doing a Select Inverse. And now press Delete. I need to turn off that bottom layer so you can see this, and there is our selection removed. Okay, so that was using the Magnetic Lasso tool. I'm going to delete this layer and get back to the original, and I want to show you how to use the Quick Selection tool. This is a very nice tool. The Quick Selection tool, simply you click and drag, and it's going to grab what it's guessing that you want to select based on the colors below it. And as I drag more, it's going to select more and more now. It selected too much of the lighthouse here, so I'm going to do an Alt and kind of go down that side of the lighthouse to bring that back or to remove that from the selection. And just click here a couple times to take that back out. So this time I'm going to remove the sky. So I select that with the quick selection tool. Duplicate this layer before I remove it. Turn off the bottom and then hit delete, and the sky is out of there. So that was a very quick selection using the quick selection tool. I want to compare that to the magic wand, and we're going to delete that top layer, get back to our original, make a duplicate of the original again to work on the copied layer. And the magic wand tool is similar to the quick selection, except you don't click and drag it. You just click. The magic wand tool has a tolerance setting up here. I'm going to set that to the default, which is 32. So based on where I click, it's going to get shades of the color I click on. So with a tolerance of 32, it's going to get variations of this blue sky as such. Now I didn't click near enough, so I could do two things. I could increase my tolerance and do another selection, or based on what we know about adding to selections, I can just hold down Shift, notice the plus sign next to my icon, and continue adding to the selection till I get most of what I want. Now the difficulty in this particular selection is this little tower that stands here. I just want to remove that top tower, the top part of that tower, with the sky. So I'm going to grab my Marquee tool. I'm going to hold down plus to add to my selection, and then carefully draw a rectangle around that to add it. So it just brings that down. Now the selection here is doing a few things of coming down in here. With my Marquee tool, I'm just going to do this, in this case, take away another rectangle to remove those little dips there. Okay, I can again press delete, and it removes the sky out of there. So that's the magic wand tool, which picks up shades of color based on the tolerance setting. That wraps up our discussion about making selections.